overview video. It is Monday the 10th of November and we're going to get stuck into the charts. First of all, we will start with the news. We've got a really good week ahead for news. There's only one piece of high impact news that could affect our trading or my trading itself, not unless you're trading GBP, and that's two pairs. So first of all, today, Monday the 10th, is absolutely clear. There's no high impact or medium impact. It's all low. Then we come to Tuesday, we've got a little bit of medium, which we would never worry about, and then we've got a bit of high impact at 7 AM on GBP. Coming from that, the rest of the day, Tuesday is good, and then Wednesday is all clear as well. So till the middle of the week, we are all good for trading. We then have AUD at 12:30, so basically Wednesday night, overnight. So if you're holding any AUD trades overnight, just try and get stop loss to entry, ideally before this news comes out. We've got two lots going on there. GBP again in 7 AM in the morning, but I shouldn't be trading any GBP pairs. And then finally we have USD, which is all day, but I don't seem to really class these as news. They don't really impact the market at any such a time. So we've got two lots Thursday, Friday. So if I don't need to be in a USD trade, I won't. But I still would place a trade around these. These wouldn't really bother me too much on both sections. So that's what we got for the week. Beautiful, lovely and easy. Let's get on to the... No, we don't want that. We now want that. I need to pin that. I had a problem with TradeView this morning. It was not going to work. So we are now finally rocking and rolling. Following on Euro USD. First one, we're starting at the watch list. We had price come down to the pip and hit TP, and it pulled back to the 4 hour. We had this smaller rejection. It then pushed back up through, pull back. So now we're looking for price to move in between these two. Could look to catch a trade from here up. There is not a lot of structure on the 1 hour time frame. You can just kind of see we've rejected that area and then pushed up. So I won't be placing any long trades. We'll only be looking for short stuff later on in the week. So once price pushes up to that daily, obviously daily's going to move down as price moves up, and we will see what it does. And rejecting that, if it rejects that, we'll see if we can catch another trade similar to what we had here and run it from there down. That's what I was trying to see if we can. But from there, that's all I've got on Euro USD. Following from that, AUD CAD, we've been waiting for price to reject the daily, so we're in this bigger time frame flag. And then price rejected with a quad bottom, not a triple, a quad. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pushed up, pulled back again. We tried catching a trade from here, but that didn't play out. Price continued then to push right the way down and test the daily. So now we've tested the daily. You can see that really aggressive candle last week. Thursday pushed all the way up. Then Friday closed, testing the 4 hour. So now we're going to see if we can get a pullback and then a break of that and a pullback again. So that will then create a 1 hour time frame inverted head and shoulders, rejecting the daily, which will be here. I won't want to place a trade there because we'll be trading through the 4 hour 50. So we will wait for a break and retest of the 4 hour 50, make it safe, gives a nice short, sharp stop loss, and just go above the highs there for a 1 to 5 is what we're looking at. 20 pip stop, 100 pip take profit, nice and easy, should be in and out by the end of the week. So let's see if we can get that pullback today and that push above, and then if we can catch an early entry this time tomorrow would be perfect. And then finally, AD JPY. Again, we've had that push up. I'll go back onto the 4 hour time frame. You can see here, price, I'll go all the way out. We got a daily time frame inverted head and shoulders. Price pushed up, pulled back, pushed up, and then really pulled back into here. Didn't know what price was going to do after that. Price then made a new higher high, and then we've had a double pullback to test, not quite test the daily. I was hoping for a little bit more of a deeper test before pushing back up, but price is now pushed up. So now we've broken back above the daily with that gap out, and then we can now wait for a pullback. So we're going to wait to see if we can get a pullback again, same as we are with AD CAD, into that 4 hour 50 before placing a trade. That's a 1 to 4. We want a little bit more than that. We go for a 1 to 5 all the way up to the top. So that's what I'm looking at so far. For the rest of the week, NZDCHF, we were waiting for a short trade from this area, but didn't manage to catch the entry, and price has already basically made an equal to lower low. So notice we get a really aggressive pullback into here. I don't think I'm going to be looking for that because then price could reverse on this, creating a double bottom. So no play out at the minute on NZDCHF, and Euro NZD has now only just tested that resistance zone. So we have to see what price does around that. Probably got a 1 hour head and shoulders forming. It's not very strong. You needed a little bit of a bigger shoulder there. So we just have to wait and see what price does against that. GBP/JPY, normal stuff. Don't really trade this, just an auto strategy. Bitcoin did come down to the weekly 50, as I thought, double bottomed and pushed back up. So if we go down to the daily, you'll see that there. And then if we go down to the weekly, that's how we tested it. So we predicted that bad boy spot on. It's now starting to push back up. So it come down to 75 grand mark, and then it's going to push back up. I reckon it now create a new high just before Christmas. I don't know if it's going to push the 100. It might push the 100 February time, but we will see on that. XRP didn't quite come as low. I thought it was going to come just as low as the Bitcoin push, which you didn't. So we come down to the 165 mark and then push back up. I thought it was going to come down to about the 145 mark, 150 mark. But we just see what that does. It could, by all means, come back and test the daily there and then push back down again. So we'd be looking like something like that is what we're looking at. We'll bring that up, I suppose. Be like that and then pull that down. And yeah, just looking at previous waves and levels really is what I'm looking at. You can see we've got a really clear level where I'm looking at for price to come down to. And then Dogecoin, that's really sunk at the minute. It's come back down to not quite create a equal to low, but I reckon it's still got another push in it. I don't see why it's not going to push all the way down to there before coming back up. Obviously, we have got a substantial amount of Dogecoin at 15p, so we bought in here somewhere about there. So yeah, at the minute we are in a loss on that, but we're just going to hold it until it comes into profit. See how we get on. I'd like to see it hit the push up again, hit the 32 mark around Christmas time. Would be nice. And I think that's everything we got. Yep, that's all we got for the week ahead. Remember to get your back testing in and trade safe. We haven't got a lot of news, but don't be taking trades that you don't need to. Remember, it's always about less trades and more capital.